Hey, we've made it to the last lesson of Module 9. This is called Write and Graph Inequalities. You can find it on page 301 in your book. This is my favorite lesson in this module. We're going to be dealing with some inequalities. That means that we have less than or greater than. And then, as you can see, if you look right here, we're adding some new things. Let me zoom into that a little bit so you can see it. I zoomed in too far. Let me read. Sorry, I got so excited I zoomed in too far. Okay, so this one, you know this, less than. Word phrases are fewer than or below. This guy right here, he's greater than. Word phrases are more than or above. But here are two new ones. So they look like the less than and greater than sign, but it's like the equal sign got split in half and got put them on there. So this is less than or equal to, so at most or no more. And this right here is greater than or equal to and at least or no less. So you could be using these like if you've ever gone to like an amusement park like Six Flags, Silver Dollar City before. Um, yeah, when you get to a roller coaster or a ride or whatever, at the front it says you have to be this height or taller to go on. That would be greater than or equal to. So if you had to be 4 foot or taller, that is greater than or equal to because it's including 4 feet. Some things are free if you're under a certain age. So like 4 and under, that would be less than or equal to. And we're going to be practicing this a little bit here so we can see what to do. Let's look at number 1. Again, you're on page 301. So, a record-breaking low temperature of -23 was recorded in Seminole, Texas on February 8, 1933. That's pretty cool for Texas. So we're going to find -23 and graph it on the number line. So we've done this before. Let me reset that. So we're going, that's a little far out. Let's go to, I'll just deal with it here. So we're going to graph 23. -23 is right here. -23 is not on there, but I know -23 is halfway between -22 and 24. I hope you knew that also. B, the temperature for -3, -14, 1, and -19 have also been recorded in Texas. How do these temperatures compare to -23? Are they less than -23 or are they greater? So all of these, if you're looking on here, 4 is all the way over here, -3 is here. All of these temperatures are going to fall to the right of -23. So they are greater than -23. C, give examples of other numbers that are greater than -23. So we can use 2, 5, 100. There's lots of different numbers that we can use. How many numbers exist? An infinite amount of numbers because you know numbers never end, right? So infinite numbers exist. And D. Now we're going to actually write an inequality here. So we're going to let X represent the temperatures. So there's a variable that are greater than -23. Complete the inequality to describe these temperatures. All of these are greater than, so we're going to put the greater than sign right here. They made that way more complicated than it needs to be, but that's what it always does on Build Understanding to us. You're going to flip over to page 302. And there's lots of words to read on this one. Don't worry, I'm reading them to you. So first off, let's look over here at this vocabulary word. The solution of an inequality is a value or values that make an inequality true. An inequality can have many solutions. The solution of the inequality x is greater than 2 is all the numbers greater than 2, not including 2, because it has to be greater than 2. An inequality such as x is greater than 2 represents a constraint. A constraint is a condition that restricts the values of a quantity or a variable to a given value or a range of values. For the inequality x is greater than 2, the values of x must be greater than 2. So 2 and numbers less than 2 are not solutions of x is greater than 2. For the inequality x is less than or equal to 4, the values of x must be less than or equal to 4. So 4 is a solution of x is less than or equal to 4, but numbers greater than 4 are not solutions. Number 2. I know that was just a lot right there, but I'm going to be going through it in different problems, so don't worry about all of that. Number 2, graph the inequalities. So, before step 1, I guess I should read it to you. Y is right here. I'm zooming in so we can see it a little better. Y is less than or equal to negative 3. So we're going to draw a solid circle at negative 3. Hopefully your circle looks prettier than mine. So far, that's all I did is I drew the circle right here that shows negative 3 of a solution. I'm going to put hopefully this is a circle. Is that a circle? And then I want another circle. Okay, so when there's going to be two choices when you put inequalities on the number line. One is going to be a circle that is filled in. The other is going to be a circle that's open. Any time you have a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you need to close your circle. If you have an open circle, it's because you have less than or greater than. The closed circle means that you're including that number also in the piece. Make sure you are copying this because this is very important. If you leave the circle open when it needs to be colored in, it will be wrong. Again, when it is shaded in, that includes that number. When its circle is not shaded in, it does not include that number. Step 2. Shade the number line to the left of negative 3 to show that numbers less than negative 3 are solutions. So we're just drawing an arrow over here, and we're going like that. Our arrow is going that way. It's going to continue to go that way because anything less than negative 3 or negative 3 is going to go that way. Because the numbers to the left-hand side are less than. A lot of my students in the past, if you look up here at the inequality, it points, if I draw an arrow in here, it points to the left, so your arrow needs to go to your left. Same thing will happen if it is greater than. You put your arrow in, and you make your line going to the right. Oh man, that didn't stay there. That's okay. Step 3. Check your solution. Choose a number that is on the shaded section of the number line, such as negative 4, and we're going to substitute negative 4 for y. Since the inequality negative 4 is less than or equal to negative 3 is true, the solution graph on the number line appears to be correct. You can never check all the possible values for the variable because there's an infinite amount of numbers, but checking one or two values helps assure you have shaded the correct side of the number line. Let me move that. There we go. Here's our next one, B. So on your paper, it's just right underneath. I had to split it up though. Okay, so on this one, they actually have the number in front of the letter. If you don't like it like that, you can always switch it, but then you do have to switch your sign also. So M is greater than 1. I tend to like my variable on the left-hand side because it makes it easier for myself. So if you like it like that, you then have to change your inequality to the opposite way. So step 1, we're going to draw an open circle because anytime we have less than or greater than, it needs to be an open circle because we are not including that. So we're looking at 1, open circle. Then we're looking for numbers greater than 1, so we're going this way. And then they just want us to pick a number on here to check to make sure it's good. I'm just going to do 2. Is 1 less than 2? Yeah, it is. Or if you wanted to put it in here, 2 is greater than 1. If you check your number and your arrow's in the wrong direction, since you're writing in pencil, it should be fairly easy to fix for yourself. Number 4, we're on the top of page 303. This will be the last one in this section. You can write inequalities to represent certain real-world situations. I know you're super excited that I'm going to bring word problems into this. So we're going to use inequalities to solve these problems. The temperature is at most -2. What could the temperature, what could be the temperature T? So they said the variable is going to be T right there. Are the numbers less than -2 part of the solution? Yes, because it said at most. So that means I can be under, or I can be at -2. Ah, sorry, I was answering a different question. I just answered this one. The numbers cannot be greater since they can be less than. So they can be less and they can be equal to -2. So we have less than or equal to. B, Raphael needs to buy more than 4 concert tickets. How many T tickets could he buy? Are numbers less than 4 part of the solution? No, because he needs to buy more than that. So are numbers greater than 4 part of the solution? Yes. Is 4 included in the solution? No, because I have to buy more than. That means this is going to be greater than. And then they also want us to put this on the number line. So my circle's at 4. And I need greater than 4, so I'm going this way. I am not filling this 4 in because it's not equal to 4. The only times that it can be there to fill in the circle is if it's also equal to that number, which in this case it is not.